Hey everyone, Tigertenaka here, and welcome back to another part of Pokemon Platinum. In the last episode, we made it to the fight area, and in this part, as we can see, we can't really explore any other part of this region, because, well, we don't have the Pokedex completed, which sucks, but it's a lot easier to do in this game than any others, because all you have to do to complete the Pokedex is to see them. You don't have to catch them, so that's a lot more convenient. There are 210 Pokemon in the Pokedex, for Platinum at least, and I've seen 209, and if you fought every single trainer, then that's where you should be as well. There's one Pokemon that you can't really see, so you have to fly to Celestic Town in order to get the entry in your Pokedex. Well, it turns out I was completely wrong. I was thinking of Diamond and Pearl, where you had to see the other legendary dragon to complete the Pokedex. For Platinum, to see the last Pokemon, you need to go to the Pokemon Mansion on Route 212. Go to the room where Mr. Backlot is, and talk to Mr. Backlot. Or maybe we just read the book right behind him anyway. There we go, Manaphy. This is the last Pokemon you need to see in your Pokedex. Normally you can only obtain Manaphy through an event via Pokemon Ranger, but in order to see it, that's all you gotta do. So now, that our Pokedex is finally complete, what do you say we go to Sandgem Town and tell Professor Rowan about it in person? So, Steelhearts, let's fly on you again. Yeah, I traveled all over the place trying to figure out what I was supposed to do. Stupid me. I should really look into this stuff before I start recording, but I finally have a chance to record. I'm not going to waste it. So, to Professor Rowan. Coming to show me progress on the Pokedex? Yep. So you've seen 210 Pokemon. Excellent work, Tiger. Pokemon of the Sinnoh region are being added to your Pokedex. This will certainly help my studies of Pokemon evolution. And we have a special guest, Professor Oak. Been a while since we've seen him, since Heart Gold. I'll tell you, Sinnoh certainly is a long trip from Kanto. Of course, if it means meeting new Pokemon, there's no distance too great for the likes of us to travel. Oh, if it isn't my old colleague, Professor Oak. I love how Professor Oak conveniently forgets to tell us this stuff when he's known about this stuff for years, like in the anime. You should have expected as much from the world's authority on Pokemon. We always used to joke, where there are Pokemon, you'll find Oak. It's good to see that hasn't changed one bit. Let me introduce you to my young assistant. Yeah, I've completed the Pokedex. The only Pokedex I will legitimately complete. Well, this is giving us a lot of praise. Yeah. Yay! We get our Pokedex upgraded to National now! It's about time! Yeah, we'll make an attempt with how many legendaries there are in this game, but we're not going to actually finish it because that'd be too much. Oh yeah, and the Pal Park is open too. I won't really be able to show that off, but I can at least show where it's at. Yeah, the Pal Park is opened after you get the National Dex. And what does he have to say now? Ooh, the Pokeradar. I'll cover the Pokeradar in its own video, because it goes pretty in depth. I can go over it very briefly on what it looks like on the surface, but there's a lot more in depth to it. So let's go to the Pokeradar. And basically on this... Oh, I need to recharge it. It's like the VS Seeker where you recharge it by taking a certain amount of steps. Anyway, that should be enough now. Walk into a patch of grass, and it'll let you see shaking spots in the grass, which will indicate a wild Pokemon. However, it does have another effect that I'll go over later. But for right now, let's go to Route 219, because the Pal Park is now open. And I do not remember if I fought any of these trainers on screen, because at this point they'd be pretty weak. Hi Vesper, holy shit! I didn't expect that. Okay then, I guess we're inadvertently getting our first legendary Pokemon capture in the National Pokemon. Wow! Good thing I had the Master Ball there. Thanks, Cyrus. I thought that was going to be a random encounter that I would have to edit out, but no, it happened to be Mesprit. Holy crap. That's one roamer down at least. And while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to put on a repel. Yeah, there's a lot of roamers in this game. One Master Ball isn't nearly enough. We'll be getting into the other roamers later, though. And to be honest, I'll probably... I didn't fight these trainers off screen or on screen, whatever. Well, that was boring. But yeah, if you thought there were a lot of roamers in Diamond and Pearl, you haven't seen anything with Platinum. But yeah, if I run into any trainers here, I'm just gonna cut them out, because they're really weak at this point, so it'll be kind of pointless to show them now. But there are some items we can grab here, and there are also some Pokemon that are pretty rare here. I believe you can find Girafarig here, if that's in the Sinnoh-Dex. Oh man, I could have shown something off in Sandgem Town while I was there. Oh well. Over here we get a Pure Incense. Let's see what that does. Okay, it keeps wild Pokemon away. It's not quite a repel, but it's kind of like Intimidate, where if it's in the front of your party, it decreases the encounter rate. But anyway, we have a house here. We talk to this old man here. Today's number is 61. Show me a Pokemon that's level 61. If you can, I'll reward you. Basically, this guy will give you a different belt depending on what level you show him. Expert Belt, Focus Sash, Black Belt. Pretty good items. However, I don't have a Pokemon's level 61, so I can't show that off. Yeah, let's see what kind of Pokemon we can encounter here. There's Roselia. Even though you could have had a Badoo by now. Since, like, the third route of the game. I'll be right back after I fight this guy, then. See what he has to say first. Are you going to the Power Park too? For you, I'm willing to show off my prized Pokemon. Good for you, buddy. All they had was a Togetic, so it probably wasn't even worth recording that. Anyway, if you weren't sure before getting to the National Dex, there'd be 2 workers here blocking your way, but now that it's open, we can go in. And hey, it's Professor Oak again. This is Pal Park. Pokemon from around the country can be brought here. In other words, Pokemon from places like Kanto and Hoenn. This place also happens to be where you compete to see how quickly you can catch those Pokemon. It's good to see you come to join us for a visit, and make a gift of this trainer counter app for your Pokédex. So we get a random Pokedex app. The Trainer Counter app tracks the Pokemon Raiders' rankings. Huh. I'll show what that is in a second once I get to it. Yeah. But yeah, the rankings here, this will show the top 3 most encountered Pokemon you've seen with the Pokeradar, which can be useful if you use its hidden use, which again I'll be explaining in a later video, because it's way too in-depth to go into right now. But anyway, the PAL Park. If you have a 3rd generation Pokemon game, Ruby, Sapphire, Fire Red, or Leaf Green, or Emerald, you can put it in the GBA pack of your Nintendo DS or DS Lite, and use the PAL Park to transfer them permanently to your Diamond Pearl, Platinum, Heart Gold, or Soul Silver games. And you can only transfer 6 at a time, once per 24 hours, and you run around various areas looking for them, and you catch them using Park Balls, which essentially work as Master Balls. They have a 100% capture rate. So that's pretty useful. Unfortunately, I can't really show it off because this is an emulator, and yeah, that kind of speaks for itself. But anyway, let's go back to Sandgem Town, because there's one thing I forgot to go over there that you can do there now. Well, 2 things actually. Right here in front of the laboratory, Dawn is here. This is where she'll be for the rest of the game. If you talk to her, she'll give you various hints. Like right now, that's actually what I was going to do next, is talk to her little sister. If you talk to Dawn or Lucas's little sister, she will tell you that TV says that there's an outbreak of Pokemon. So if you talk to her again, she will tell you every day there is an outbreak of Pokemon on any random route. So today, March 20th, there is an outbreak of Makuhita on Route 225. And it'll change every day, so once a day you can find and catch Pokemon that you can't normally get, or are very rare. Unfortunately, we don't have access to Route 225 yet because it's all the way up here. But we will start exploring more of this area in the next part, now that we finally have the National Dex. Because those people will finally be out of our way, as we can see in a few seconds here. Come on. Yep, these people are finally out of our way, so in the next part of Pokemon Platinum, we'll be exploring more of this part of the Sinnoh region. See you guys then.